je eba e honum na bibia so do etumi akoye from now till 2:30 ye be sorry afin kunya so na afi yakono china yasa abia be share na bibia etumi akoye we sports arena MYBET.AFRICA TV uko YouTube streaming live MYBET.AFRICA TV MYBET now the dot aba now the Africa TV no now the atwaso Facebook YouTube na afi wabomode anu joining do anu share no like na afi bibia etumi ayeda akoye no comment yeah na afi akoye honum share so say uko Facebook so a MYBET MYBET no watintemu na the Africa na den aba obehu e Facebook na afi bibia so no etumi akoye sa so na ABN Radio 1 Street is watching and yes Street is watching ABN Radio 1 and obenya o Facebook na afi bibia so etumi akoye sa so na MYBET online radio so ye twagu ho no ma enya asem keto akra TikTok sports.arena.news sa so na akopiem ewo Telegram account ha eno so no ye twagu ho no de de a ho no na chese os na hodo ni nyina den ekoso ni ade anti join sports arena na bibia so no enye den enkoyi ewo ho no ya trasi babe pense ye transfer window no ye be ram transfer marketing ye be ram papa ye be ram extensively na fe de ho no nyina tumi de abramo na ene my research kakra bi a me pesa me de bramo on say club worker bi ba na wie there was a major incident course involving the president of the United States of America any idea na amanfo aka America for no crowd be mu say a global embarrassment we good ebi mu crowd apologize e dey amache say they apologize on behalf of the president any idea but till now Donald Trump any na chief opie no we issue apology kai normal sense ka bi anka mistake bi ba ya ka be ka so obe issue apology say there was some level of miscommunication near there entina the course no the course but akwakoda di obi a ochese ono nani abrekura na o deal with Russia issue near there na no ana metumi aye research woman who say adena Donald Trump here no it was not a mistake and it was not deliberate. It was a word planter for a particular purpose, and I'll bring the details because so now only enter what join the show now what the views to me at the bar now I like na be to me at the akuye you become my better education nka krebi na fi yaba na fi transfer no yaba be rem money man mama kwaba
yeah list to
ya bia iboko de
bia iboko
you share my better education kakra.
Okay, so I share my better education there nim say na we Champions League playoffs na koso Conference League into playoffs ba ku mienu bi nso koso a pre-season games na nso koso nti so betwa better MYBET.AFRICA time bi am bet na ha football am de ma no so ope bibia betwa better wasumba jo na afi nyese we di bet na uchi pe usika MYBET.AFRICA omu ye truly Ghanaian company omu head office e Ghana anti ene bibia mpo anko yi a utimi come office any omukodi nkitawundi na meno so no sabetimi aka usika nti ene MYBET na metu fo so betwa bet won tikai ko www.MYBET.AFRICA register no akọ register na afide onzo aba be kimbusian registration process no simple 3 steps pe enya afi na kofa Ghana card kofa si brother bi 3 simple steps na onzo aba be ka MYBET when ya obetimi etwa bet nti mini udi nkomo ya obetimi akọ www.MYBET.AFRICA na onzo register first one phone number ode your mobile money transactions so the phone number ni shemo the next one your username unique name ufie din bia pese we use bia ultimate the show na afido abo password account bo password kan wa na afido we mia register ni so me send you verification code now that verify our account na afido aba be kembusu no MYBET na men control so mo nyama miensa ene ompese enam eno so no so ebe twa bet on platform bako aka bonus ye kan aka bonus dia obi bebisa say den ye onse o hye beta ase no bo so match bonus ho companies bebre ama wa 1000% enu ye y30 selections or more but my bet say bra na ba be come ho omo ma 1500 nti eni omo de 500% class answer so ene wo share bet na bonus ni mu yedu sani awon so betimi edi sika kese enka ho a omo sanse bet ni hihye si aba be yeden especially we Champions League qualifiers here cause you unim teams ni kwa no akwa bi akwa select one your lucky akwa ye mistake ama sika ko shegu ti my bet e dey expect aba ko down we lower we wa obenhu si actual bet fit wo ho umia so a omoma per expect o ma hye bet nti wade a ho yan odds a ope e bia ne unya 10 odds bi a o de be wade unya 200 odds a o de be wade okọ ho a omoma hye bet no ade emu ye de ne se okomu a o select de opa na wo awasan hwehwem e bia team bi omama ne straight mu ni gidie so mbetimi ahya utimi sane ne win or draw na afi de bibia koye na won so de kakra ta echi enso afiska nti ene ehun hia se obayire wo hu se me ko hye bet ko hwe we platform bebre na hwan na be hye hwan na be se de bi omo ma chat won ti bra na betwa omo wi omo sanse se umpe football umpe we a omo san de casino any virtual games amount nti ene casino games no omo winning rate the crowd wom 94% nti kwan bia so no obetimi afiska omo aviator omo bank run omo over 300 plus casino games ene we on platform now so fiscal be come MYBET ebusuan no ne disca emu edu ewo mo.
Yes, nti MYBET won common na ye di no honom na the news eba ne say my brand friend Petrovic a joining bubuko friend Bournemouth wa joining on a permanent deal a 25 million pounds and a Chelsea accumulate honum and dress abi to just a brand friend Hatu Gerard Hatu Chelsea for a start conversation enya Chelsea mko en epeno Liverpool so epeno honum nti yenra transfers nim mu yenra transfers nim.
Yeah, at least to say we are transferring my main starting free Petrovic asema kan ni nim say kwan bia so no why na dwen so person free Chelsea because no person or gidi say performance awada na di in some seasons ago no her say enam sa performance no hunti nka Chelsea that number 1 spot no more the be man but Chelsea for so manity as say Sanchez e born homodin in the recent FIFA Club World Cup ko ne wi we say Sanchez it me kwaji best goalkeeper on tni so person only Sanchez a compete na person this number 1 spot in ma dia ese on so ultimi gine me born homodin se ne betimi hu say o born homodin a ubetimi e Sanchez e free na Chelsea it me agi 25 million if we know where Chelsea turn no if we US MLS eba no na price tag na omutimi turn 12 million tni infaso 13 million na Chelsea enya if we Petrovic ye ne nim se Todd Bowley ene Egbali mu blue co for be fa Chelsea no na nyama say no mo hwe mbeto players no de obeba na nyama be koyi obetena ne performance ne be ko no betena de ebe hwe se wo yemfa ni kolon ba ku mienu no ntimi improve na na me no so metimi enye scale free ni no o metimi aye ntenu nti na Petrovic e ko loan or Strasbourg last season or dan performance e dey na Bournemouth ababe rim. The only issue am was our transfer no me say can say Chelsea e dey at least a sell on clause e shame kwan bia so no because minjin say Petrovic be chairman Bournemouth sa or a top goalkeeper performance na no e dey nti kwan bia so no Bournemouth in the next 2-3 seasons to betimi aton na betimi enye sika kakra womti. That was the only
so I think that the details of the transfer and now the I say agreement because okay. Chelsea is too smart.
Okay. Chelsea I think a sell on clause ya de ba kwa na ebe boa ye pa. Say e ka Chelsea hu nkommodi ya yenwe mu e wo Kendrick Piers enim say omuko FIFA Club World Cup no nam Chelsea team ne ho aye hu on the final day even a players nimpo pia so nko peja trophy ni bia ansa na so be ko ne lu na wakọ enei Chelsea for ne Strasbourg for in community me akwa ko wie nim say obetimi a loan player akọ club one particular club ntimi loan 2 players nko nti enei I odeko France akọ try 2 ntimi mbu 2 nti Chelsea hwe so mbetimi a lot of loans akwa ko mo sister club enu nti no Kendrick Piers enei obeko France akwa en medicals na bibia no etimi ejine mu akwa ko bo ama Strasbourg ene omasanto amugu ama ene undisclosed fee and a Chelsea nti outgoings ni there after the FIFA Club World Cup or Chelsea ho na afini eba be hu na emu akese pan because on be o madwen say since you meet me in your team no at the level okay say income is be mpo amba be ka ho at least on betimi aka so on betimi akọ into the Premier League performance no ebe ko so I say na kind Hatu omuko bisa ya so nkomo na ya say Hatu at 60 million on value on player but Chelsea nso hwɛ so no nso the 40 be contain nkomo okoso but me gidi so a player be a Chelsea as scouting a che into kwan bia so no betimi nya, and I think the conversation will go more into the player side. Say offer woman ni coming in as a left back and also as a center back or a left center back as a Chelsea, he will be a cover for that is Levi Kowola or no betimi him. So I think he would agree to be or agree to join Chelsea. Now see at the price value, you know, between 60 and 40 at Chelsea present. I think Chelsea the minimum when it comes to transfer business, they can put in all the shifts, send your club no better as here. Ama Bibiako. You hear had to 19 years and they say to me a player at 19 years or more years when any more performance or ball left or ball or the right foot in so you bet my boy as a centre back, bet me as a left back, bet me boy as a DM into Enzo Maresca inverted full backs no a boy had to year in Yama bet me akoye. You hear Chelsea akwala bia omuja en ma Ipswich. That is last season. Friend Omari Hutchinson. You name him say Chelsea ekofani free, Arsenal Academy free, and now mudi ko loan. And now loan is performance or done it, and now mutimi Toma Ipswich at 22. At Chelsea Timineska. And they Brentford abwe him say Ipswich core relegation boy any talent no one and no day. Into Munyam de beba. And they Brentford they share life after him Buemo. Into any almost a right winger or no so what that pace or no so what that attacking threat to beat him their bomb team. To Brentford kuhu Ipswich almost the 35 na kwa koto but Ipswich said they be Omari Hutchinson form no one any potentials akwala no one 35 ni so amom into omo he so omo fa bin count and ne enye mo say Man United any mbemu deal ni we are in some few days Omari Hutchinson is be movie ako team a friend no Brentford no so be kwa akobọ no homodin e wo ho yenko that is Liverpool sisi Liverpool for oma no aye den pan or transfer market ni omo fans ni so ani age ubisa Liverpool fan bia na Liverpool die nim say omo ntan omo transfer say omo akọ season omo to player 70 60 Liverpool enti 100 million in to player be the likes of Isaac and the next player omo hwe so mbetimi enya so omo hwe Isaac wi a omani nso da Rodrigo so omo hwe so mbe Real Madrid akwa so mbetimi a negotiate and Isaac deal no aba be nkomo bebre na Isaac nkomo na ba be say Liverpool kwa man Newcastle pressure chin say Newcastle mum na nke so man Liverpool pressure on say ahia mo betimi tua for Isaac. Liverpool they are two table ni so mum kuta 120 omunim say Isaac experienced player o hear Isaac and 2 seasons our ball Newcastle no wamao goals and assists that is 20 plus in the league. First season number 20 plus, second season number 20 plus or a quality player in a Liverpool say 120 no betimi a agi eyi Ediama Newcastle for that particular player. Minim say Ndram Bekan has said na Liverpool share say betimi aton but Newcastle no of value Isaac as 150 140 at this wa maybe 140 and Liverpool for man Newcastle for at say yenim say mko akope Hugo Ekitike ene mu de 70 core ya Frankfurt for rejected Frankfurt for nso mo hwe 80 to 90 e ho into Liverpool man Newcastle at say ukọ for Ekitike dia and the ensu enya Isaac ayepe but se moma yeti ase se Isaac nye mu nton ne dia and the enimu be wura ukọ Ekitike in common mu na afi dia ba be battle between Liverpool and Newcastle for player friend who were Ekitike is there pressure than Newcastle so betimi a negotiate at a lower level at least 75 from betimi nya who were Ekitike na afi dia omni Liverpool aba be di Isaac ne ho nkomo ye nti I think Isaac moving to Liverpool akosra ebe 130 I think it will be a good transfer for Newcastle because in Ndram Becheche mu say ohwe Hugo Ekitike any Isaac on profile na ya epe but one thing is age ewo Hugo Ekitike side more Isaac was 25 Ekitike was 20 into here between these two players Newcastle nso ye team bia pressure ni ho into Hugo Ekitike benya time etimi agru aba be player to say Isaac and Newcastle etimi fan free the Spanish football and Liverpool ehwe so mutimi wie Isaac dey on within July mois they will look at Rodrigo I know so aba be a big headache come on because Florentino Perez I na dream so beton players ni but I don't think say player beat Rodrigo beko as an easy price for Liverpool maybe around 70 and 80 until money nam 90 and 100 and they nkofo di nkomo say Liverpool this is your transfers or more FFP4 in who yana but one thing I memo be at say is Liverpool my transfers about between mo meji skapa the likes of Luis Suarez the likes of Coutinho mo my Gigi ska o intimi anya massive transfers bia any ometimi aboabo sika no menya coach he's ready to spend and also get the squad well and unti ne say Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp. The only transfer who said no more come big was Caicedo and Yamentimi. Apart from that, they go in for their 40s, their 60 million players. Bibia Timikoye. Yedi Tremu Liverpool no Luis Diaz. I'm a Liverpool for it. I say Kwame Bias Unya Obeko. You be cheche mu 100 say or a player be an salary or you Liverpool. No nimso movie for Liverpool club for Sikani mu be edu. Yeah. Nti ene yo hwe. So betimi enye bigger move from Liverpool. Bayern Munich enso gusu bon komo. Any Liverpool, I'm sure Momsi Komkuta is 65 to get player friend Luis Diaz to Liverpool. But any Liverpool for so no value player now at 80. And a Liverpool share transfers be send ko betimi aton Darwin Nunes ama Napoli. But any Napoli said there be almost our conversation on muntimi any Liverpool for indibium. Any so betimi enya the likes of Isaac, any Rodrigo and nature so timinya 80 million from Luis Diaz. I think Liverpool fans be very disappointed in Luis Diaz. Especially one on a bad Jota in same my time a Jota funeral ne in we see what na pictures were bonti and on an party I say any nyama be brain or pushy for a move outside Liverpool. But on the player side meeting I say so uji 50 na club for a beam now beating me negotiate for more we see mu ye do nti na Liverpool hwe say Bayern Munich team no mu hia players Sani ko Ndram kan say Kingsley Coman Gnabry omu need that top level form sin ani enimom no ene we Thomas Mullers we free team ti ohwe Bayern Munich setup no ma host be braba be dem a omunya Luis Diaz we team no ma enyama betimi akoye wo nti no omunim se Bayern Munich be abetua na Bayern Munich nso the best salaries e ba player transfers omo ya ade nti Liverpool hwe say at 80 million Bayern Munich be the ba for Luis Diaz na ndio omo nso transfers mienu aka that is Rodrigo omo hwe any Isaac omo betimi ayama bia akoye nti the league champions transfers omo ye na no edin I think a caution ma some of the clubs in the Premier League say nay obi oje league kwata 120 116 and then 80 million 90 million na mo amaka so wotiti ho a wanye look ya league no start here Liverpool will be favorite again to win the Premier League.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yes, listo my share to you for na mean starting free baby money man starting and I think say people are quite surprised about how Liverpool are spending, especially in this transfer window. But then, if you are close to Liverpool team, no watch how they've been doing the Fenway Group have been doing their business for the past 5 to 6 years. They've been doing very well. They are one of the big teams that they don't spend. In fact, the investment they did in Sadio Mane, Roberto Firmino, Virgil van Dijk, and Anthony Robertson and even Mohamed Salah Abo must stay at the top for us. I mean for some good years and at the back when they say for a club to sustain a year or more financial revenues, no, you have to always be at the top level. And since Jurgen Klopp by in the 3rd season, 4th season more started so the Liverpool bought top fours, Edio Moji League trophies and things were in good shape for them. And Liverpool for Listo, they've been able to surge up on revenue in recent years because almost sustaining Champions League appearance for several years. For the last 5 years, they be almost Champions League. For the last 4 to 5 years, anytime be a Liverpool, English top Premier League, no, or more top 4. And in the number of money. Oji League or top 4 Omuna and so 80 million. And again, they've been sending up money mankind. They've done a lot of good business. And then they one Todd Bowley, any the blue co any clear leg for the Bayern. They've made other clubs known say and they know the PSR rules they are loopholes, they are ways and means you can still do expensive business and still keep your books clean. The amortization. And then they Liverpool for no Obita Flowing Vits Scano. They are not paying it outright. But the thing is, Liverpool for Listo, they are one of the teams or more England and I say Europa. They made good money, good revenue. And in Financial Transfer report is that Liverpool made over 700 million pounds in revenues. That is over 100 million the Omunian last year. And last summer they didn't spend. Transfers at Liverpool here when Iron Slot be take you over. was Georgie Madashashvili. That is the goalkeeper. And Olukampo one man joining Liverpool team. Then the only player over joining Liverpool is Federico Chiesa. That is the only player Liverpool bought. And then they list to check Liverpool team now. Prior to the season, Anfield no first na capacity in 54,000. Now they've increased the capacity. Before ever statistics, we redevelop a capacity near 61,000. And if we redevelop capacity to thousands, we increasing to thousands of capacity, it means that any will get proceeds, any revenues are obenya will get, and also now let's look at Liverpool business so far this season. They've been able to sell their 2 academy players in the goalkeeper of Tino Kelleher, any a Branton Ding, Jared Kwanzaa. With these 2 players, they've amassed over 50 million pounds, which is a purely profit revenue. Books. Now let's not forget, say they have another player, Elliott, and Tyler Morton. He was part of England at 21 team now. That championship, and a lot of clubs are chasing for that guy. So they can also amass over 50 million pounds on Tyler Morton. And you have the Elliott, and the teams are also chasing these 2 guys. Now let's not forget, say Darwin Núñez, likely he will leave Liverpool to Napoli if Osimhen will go through for less than 50 million or 40 million. Now Liverpool for no list to money can catch us. There's a reason why they are rejecting big monies for Luis Diaz. The last time Becheche Moa Luis Diaz Kaoji, he drew 60,000 pounds a week. Because at that time Namukoton, Diaz was earning as low as 20,000 euro Porto. And Skadom Lukoto Diaz no. Diaz still the contract in 2027. Now Liverpool for a share. So okay. So if they are letting Luis Diaz go, are they going to get a player in the caliber of Luis Diaz? And but cheap. Let's look into the transfer market. And the Dortmund is selling Jamie Gittins 50 something million. So getting Luis Diaz, play Obama on the quality, the potential, and the experience are over to their ball Liverpool. Now, I'm going to call transfer market. If they are not holding 100 million plus, they are not going to get a player of any caliber. Now, the second point is, if Liverpool even decides that now, you say the boy wants to leave because Kana Yanks say the man no crampon is because there is a player Liverpool or Emano as close to 3 million a year. Now, any player it means that you are going to spend twice, 3 times, or 4 times the Luis Diaz edge. So you are going to pay huge money for Luis Diaz replacement. And again, the wage, when you are the 100,000, 150,000 BDA, you pay for that new player now or then again, the integration into the team, adaptability. Are you going to buy someone from the Premier League? If you are buying someone from the Premier League, it won't come cheap.
And in this case, they've identified Rodrigo. Say if
yes,
and
Rodrigo, you see, no player will leave Real Madrid. Or about Liverpool, like I say, Scanoji or Real Madrid, or better so, because Rodrigo was 3 years, more than 2+ years on the contract. If Real Madrid decides, yeah, he can still stay there and get the money. But removing from Real Madrid to Liverpool, no player will take a pay cut. Unless Rodrigo Naxansano or by Liverpool, he is coming to become one of the best players in their team because of the potential. He is still young. So Liverpool share markets, and there's a reason why they are rejecting bids because when Omomoko marketer, they've seen the prices are amount for ABC. Until a Liverpool team now, them buying and spending in the Premier League, people shouldn't be surprised because how Chelsea managed to buy 100 million players in the space of 2 transfer windows. So Liverpool are bidding, and if Newcastle are ready to leave Alexander Isaka, they are willing to pay 120 million. And you see, there have been reports say, and Newcastle for unbelievers say, Isaka and Kasan list. There is an encouragement. Oh, Liverpool, Akachi. people they've talked to, because if Liverpool follow any Arishemu say Alexander Isak will be open to the move. If only Newcastle will accept the bidder, they won't make that 120 million bid to Newcastle. And they are saying about the tintin say Newcastle for no so. And you know I be discussing say Newcastle HSC Hugo Ekitike. They want him and the whole church say he can play Isak and Hugo Ekitike in how a person on the ball. And even at a place and no me church him say Hugo no at Brentford and also at Frankfurt. Now I bought be two like my bono with another striker as a second striker. And he how or flourish here when they were playing him. Any obiti say Omar Mamusha or Frankfurt. And you see, the last time we can say Upa Europe currently, there are few players they are strikers or more outperforming or more XGs Europe this year. And one of those players they are good in build up, hold up, they can dribble, they can run, create spaces for themselves, and also create chances and also assist their teammates. One of them Hugo Ekitike. And there's a reason why when Chelsea was searching for a profile of a striker, Obetimabel competed with Nicholas Jackson. He was one of the first names about out, and in the Newcastle for open. And in Newcastle for Ekitike used to work. And you say he's coming to play with Obiti say Isak for the next 5 years. Okay. Newcastle Branton who before Oberi move out to Frankfurt. And second for Alexander Isak last 2 years. They moved to sign this guy. And if Ekitike is coming, they are going to use him and Obiti say Alexander Isak because they are playing the Champions League and they have to sustain their chances of also being a top 4. So you can have these two players in the team. Even if Isak in Hokrana, this guy will come in, adapt to the pace of the Premier League, adapt to the physicality of the Premier League. The next season, we are ready to Sobeton Alexander Isak for over 100 million or for at a bigger price. Who are the replacement again? I'm the pass average. That's average bit of and last season, Medikaka said Ekitike having the best ever season of Frankfurt. And then in Frankfurt for Listo, they are ready to cash in. Who check Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitike started last season. In fact, in terms of goal scoring, Onyan drew that level. Now, Alexander Isak, but this is a young chap, younger than Alexander Isak. And if Onyan a better team with quality players, it means that he can improve. 33 games in the Bundesliga last season, or share 15 goals. In the shot on target, or about 48 shot on target, or providing 8 assists. See the number of big chances or create here and take ons or create here in this game. So you compare 33 games, 34 games under Alexander Isak. Apart from Alexander Isak, outperforming in terms of creating chances for big chances for the team, taking players on, in terms of the assist, and this guy is 6'3" feet tall. And is about Liverpool, about Newcastle, then Omutimi improving on the area abilities. He will be a player that so status or dignity because of the height. He will be another player or best answer good. And the virus and far on Isak or more graph no sound so to some you compare these two players at least. What share Isaka? He's not taller than Hugo Ekitike, but Medicanka Hugo Ekitike height. Who check the number of goals? Who check the number of goals scored from outside the box? Who check the number of goals shot on target, assist, and big chances? It means that this is a player with a little bit improvement. He can tick all the boxes. Alexander Isak, so a bit me provide the amount a Liverpool Newcastle team. But then the Liverpool message near clear. They know that Alexander Isak would be keen to move to Liverpool. And then there's been conversations and Isak and when he was at Villarreal and now Real Sociedad, Newcastle foreman, he believe we are super top strikers in his part. So he doesn't want to force move because in the contract or 3 years on the contract. So he doesn't want to force any move. But if Newcastle someone cashing in, Newcastle they would want to sell the boy in 150 million. And then their priority target whether they sell Isaac or they don't sell Isaac, and say they are going to buy Hugo Ekitike already. Already can 70 million pounds across Frankfurt for no say 80 million or nothing. Now, Liverpool for no say any omasemi if you're not going to give us Alexander Isaac, then I will buy the player and a or your priority targeting. I'll buy that player. And it's a player and a bar. Nisiko Babeji and the transfer fee never Babeji, and they believe that this boy with the right players around him, they can make him alone another Alexander Isaac. And the Newcastle for they know within themselves that the next 3 years in this one, Isaac is either he's going to move to another club because Isaac, you know, and your Premier League teams going to happen, Barcelona, any other teams, Hurricane, who checking the age, next 2-3 seasons. He won't be there at Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich will need a striker. So Newcastle for no, they needed to buy Hugo Ekitike at this stage, or on Isaac next season. They sell Isaka, they still have the replacement, and they will cash in and also bring another striker because Callum Wilson echo, and they will need a backup striker for Alexander Isaac. Now Liverpool for myself now, and say unji in the excess of 130 million. Now, for being so with primary targets and now key targets now, then we go and pick your key targets. And then they Ali Barata or ye Hugo Ekitike agents. On say Newcastle for no Austria. There's been conversation between Ali Barat or no agents for Hugo Ekitike and Newcastle. They know that the boy wants to he's okay with the move. But currently Ali Barat any agency, this boy will prefer a move to Liverpool than Newcastle because he knows that or call Newcastle. If Newcastle doesn't decide say they will play two top, he's going to be a backup to Alexander Isaac. But now at Liverpool, there's no striker if they sell Darwin Nunes. And it's going to be a key part of Liverpool project from Kwakwen. Liverpool is starting the boy already in the May and June more. So they know about the availability of the boy. Now they are just doing the transfer saga. Yeah, me Liverpool, me prioritize targets. And I will be me here on the first. Alexander Isaac. Right now I have the money. Me do 120 aba. There haven't been any primary negotiation between Liverpool and Newcastle. But they are just testing the waters to see the reply. And the Newcastle for say Isaac is not for sale. They will test the waters again. If almost testing, now say nay Newcastle for no Ekaso Munjaya and Hugo Ekitike and any reps no Ali Barret mo. They will they move to Newcastle if they know the stance of Liverpool. So in the next few days, everybody, the response from Newcastle and the improved bid from Liverpool will determine if Liverpool would forget the Isaac deal and go straight to Abranta and the Hugo Ekitike. And now used to apart from Obiti said, if Liverpool are able to target one of these players, and they also believe that they would want say Enka Diaz Ebeste Amani contract and running down no Kofi. They don't care because the money they are paying £2 million a year. Anyhow, they believe that even if the player is going to give them that consistency and that the performance for the next 2 years, before Mbekono, they might even sell some young players or make them replacement. Then Abra Diaz they can play. And even if Omunya a proper deal for Luis Diaz, they are also hoping say at least Cody Gakpo they can do something. And you see, Liverpool team now. Listo. This is a team. One are in a slot buying. They didn't make any signings for the coach. Now they are cashing in. And Mimi Liverpool, Listo, Ubi Samia. This is a team are winning the Premier League. I know it's not a come on you as some said. Team no also 12 no. Here who do I but the team now are league. See the signings, statement signings they are making. And me can say Liverpool season Listo. I see it in two ways. You see that the players are going to fight for Diego Jota. This league, Diego Jota and Munyam. And I say the death of omo teammate no will also affect them. So in this case, it's either they might have a player that will say be a young konkokun and the engine leg in function and I say oh no teammate na will affect them and people might slow but then if not that, nothing can stop this Liverpool team unless the other teams that are performing. Meaning say time one come share workers deal on kakra.
Oh, of course, time.
Yes. Listo, the last time Rebecca said Victor Goycrest deal no sporting for them. When I will make your more stance say they are going to take this amount of money. Oh yeah, then they will take, and if they decide say we want this amount of money, they will need it. Rebecca, the last time MYBET explaining how United Bruno Fernandes could do baby grandpa add-ons and even how Chelsea were able to manage and get a one player Giovanni Quinda and Dario Sogo at the price they needed and with add-ons. Now finally, Money Mambeka said Victor Goycrest agent, the agent fee cap no percent right now. Why now you say he's not going to take anything, and then they report now if report to get banner say Arsenal for no any of my agree with chair up front, then they will pay another one as bonuses. But then there's a new improvement via rate, a year 3.5 million via Ababetoso. And then list two, Victor Goycrest no bano, Mikel Arteta, Emmanuel Glazer, he needed two strikers. One, the primary target was Abraham and Victor Goycrest, and the second, Benjamin Sesko. But when they looked at the numbers, and I would like to mention, they believe that even going for Victor Goycrest, this is a player that he got before Aubameyang this form Sporting. He started hitting the ground from Coventry, and the last time the numbers never had. Season in, season out, or improve it from Brighton or Coventry, or share 9 goals. The following season, or share 12 goals. Then the third season, or we will say Wababe mature, Ababe a player, and he Wababe and he got Goycrest list too. He wasn't a player known in free kick ball. And the coach of Coventry said, Omopoa, this guy was practicing free kick. Come catch and say, Masa, you are not a free kick taker. But now he kept on practicing and a free kick betowa utimiye a boshe. And they ban the penalties are he's a cold killer in playing penalties for them. The last time MYBET explaining the reason why we check the number of goals players share Europe. This virus beating the Victor Goycrest European golden shoe numbers now. MYBET explaining it. Say or she goals as and killing Mbappe. But then because of league no bono and can the top 5 leagues no coefficient no or no points no will not guarantee him to win the golden boot. Or at score Kylian Mbappe 8 solid goals. But then no only goal, ni 2 goals biano. 1.5. But then 2 goals in the La Liga, about 3 points. So in that regard, a falling shot in the points behind Kylian Mbappe. And you see, check Europe, best attackers in Europe. Oshe goes Zobia, Mohamed Salah, the best player in the Premier League, Robert Lewandowski, Harry Kane, and even the second top scorer in the Premier League, which is Alexander Isak. And only by advance say Eddie can say Arsenal for no. Omobono. They are playing good football. They are one of the best teams defensively. And they are one of the best teams in attack. But then they were lacking that focal point player. That box player now and they best slotting goals number one. Last season Habits I improved as a player in terms of goal scoring, and they are getting their money finally. And listo, Mikel Arteta team bia. We have to give him attention. And me just say Arteta, I'm one of the people America say he hasn't been lucky, just like Jurgen Klopp. Because how Pep Guardiola put the trouble of Manchester City. If always you are second to Manchester City, people regard you as a failure. But don't check the number of points Guardiola added G ahead of Arsenal. Anytime you say Arsenal able to league now, they are mind blowing. But then there's a reason why the Arsenal hierarchy they haven't sacked him, because the numbers of Onyama Arsenal in recent times, even when they were those days, no more winning leagues, they were not even getting those points. When Arsenal were not getting the Champions League football, he made sure that he would bring Champions League football to Arsenal. And for the 2 previous seasons, they've got to the quarterfinals and semi-final. And even if there's going to be an improvement for the next season, 2 seasons or quarterfinals, last season or semi-final, and Madrid, then the champions of the UEFA Champions League last season, and the Arsenal. So it means if he's improving his team, he's coming to challenge. So next season, Mikel Arteta list will need any excuse. And Mosquera, the young defender from Sevilla, Christian Mosquera, he's a player, and no, I can say he's just like Omu defenders no more. Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes. He can play from the back. He can defend, and he's a complete defender for them. In terms of appearances last season, under players are under age of 22, 23. Or ball game is over because on your injury prone, on time paper. So he coming in, he Obama Liverpool Arsenal team no that consistency level say if way anywhere meet me over 25-30 games at the Liverpool Arsenal team no. Echi ho baby at least to me baby whether on the left, whether on the right. It's a various way team the positions are last season or boy na any the total mentor boy or boy out of me over 6,000 minutes last season Obama Valencia at the left center back position about 37% out of that position, and also as the right center back position about 48 about 9% as a right back. So even situation whereby Timber and White in Hokrano, he can fill in for that position. Into action the percentages now. Right center back out no more 4-4-2 about 35%. As the left center back out more 4-4-2 or more 90%. And as the left center back so it was our position. This is the numbers are Branton. The versatility or the bro or Liverpool Arsenal team no. Also in terms of say 1v1, this is the passes, the progressive passes and they opt for the other. Then they leave Arsenal are going to get a player or better about that progressive passes when Madueke is running, when Martinelli is running, when Victor Gyökeres is running, they were getting a player even if Saliba any Gabriel Magalhaes is anywhere, he can do that job and do it well. And the OP players at least say they can defend in 1v1. It's a very bit one way I can say they can be best at facing opponents' dribbles. Me attempting say the ball, but me show a ball in 1v1 situation or attempting 73 and used to the win percentage was 76.7, best over any defender last season in the La Liga. So this boy is coming in with the quality. He's young and he's coming to fit into Arsenal project. And in Arsenal, every position they have equally good players. They can compete at the highest level. And then they so beside say Tima for the past 2-3 seasons, Arsenal shows that and they say if they are not champions, they are going to be the second on the league law. Okay. And with the signings they are making, they are hoping say they are ready to challenge for the league title. Next season, if they fail to even win the league, the Champions League, and probably the FA Cup, Mikel Arteta will fail Arsenal for Palm.
Okay, right. So that is that major transfer news. To me at the abroad now. Before I make call issue, there is one picture. Me pese shemame na omacho say inside Donald Trump's extraordinary bromance with Gianni Infantino. You say US for any winning a bid for the World Cup. So inside Donald Trump's extraordinary bromance with Gianni Infantino. So there is an article Athletic for night atro it appears that Donald Trump the relationship with people and shada and yet papa biasa ye nyina nim recently one Elon Musk in the fight and I said what nyama Elon Musk a year to assist Donald Trump to be re-elected as a president. But then I mean, okay, say the relationship, you know, yes, and 6 months into a administration, the almost fall out. So Donald Trump, a figure beer, he cannot be trusted in terms of say, a be because only call Benkrum now or new bed, a be shabu matter say be till end of time. It appears only permanent friends. I've seen people almost everyone in government more or almost fall out totally any idea. So a bra US to me winning US, Canada, Mexico. A collaborative year almost bidding for a year the World Cup 2026. And now Gianni Infantino started say only Donald Trump year day. Just almost 18 sawaso. Until we've seen the World Cup trophy. Say or they are called a year Donald Trump office. So there are pictures that showed Donald Trump and a year Papa a friend Gianni Infantino. Donald Trump officer a year World Cup. No, that was in the first time now no what abayamono. Unse o wini ye and o koye and obi be di 4 years and a wasaba. Inti sa time no mo your pictures are na utim say World Cup trophy near the world but me wa enye ono nko a enye US nko a na be host a year 2026 World Cup. But the reason why you see that there is a lot of focus of the president of FIFA say only Donald Trump all the time be on no trophy we say crown on the corner any idea you could clearly see say I say oh yeah dear be Donald Trump to mind then Donald Trump weakness ni weakness ni say opelam light pa opabas body pa opahunwa he is that type o believe say we are seeing na time no intika krebi na omo show love edema no ekoto to nyama oye no aya ono so ye den e show odo de mom pa yenim say owo you know a lot of nyama wa kan dia for Africa ho ne ade but recently when some of African president because no he specifically says there is one African journalist here. Where is she? Emma African journalist no so ye den by so journalist of Angola. Emma obisa an question. Emma how to meet so African journalist na baso pa. Into somebody a ope omo ho ahwa no. Ope omo kanfo no. Se o ho no every day now o criticizing one pe no be fall out. Into oko America your news outlet be a friend Fox News. Ebedu baby oni omo benya issue kra. But Fox News for ope omo a omo gina na chi pa omo a. But the do baby oni omo be den ebe fall out some of the journalists work Fox News on oni omo ebe den ebe fall out. That is who he is. Inti Gianni Infantino ni say the ebe koso ye e de ama eye World Cup eno na wo say wo den o hwe na eba so because every competition be o me organize bia no say anko yi a eye ni tiri so na den ebo. So that is why a club World Cup we nkofo bi started say omukasa fan you saw the aggression the ambassadors so we are every game beyond it was specific legend or then oban to one say Ronaldo the dilemma abe kasa bi de tia La Liga president wabe kasa de tia club because every competition be obe organize biano top notch inti ofi Europe or French ni right and or Italian Gianni Infantino obviously Italian but edu time yebo World Cup wo Qatar no he stood by Qatar osi ono onye European onye we or European or African or we Asian or say that so forget the criticism Europeans in the ma Qatar for emo ko gira Qatar for echi ema indeed omo organize a remarkable tournament. And he's been what? making sure say obed defe Donald Trump, because Donald Trump ebetimaka say oy me mo bia visa obetimaka say o mo bia visa emfa mani kromo tournament no so de be ko he all the preparation o ma ya wie say aka less than a year ni ye kwakobo we no obetimaka say masa executive order, I will not allow anybody to come to my country, and obi anu obetima ya bibia into all the fed Donald Trump. Enti na mo say oh one no aha e wo ho ne ade a again US market a serious marketer opesike wo wiase mu bia obenya wo. Now yen hye sika Gianni Infantino say the revenue omutumi ye den omutumi nya from hosting the FIFA Club World Cup made in additional enye say bia appeal bi dada Champions League appeal dada ntino ye kwa kwaje sponsor enye simple maiden tournament out means amanfo as a teams in kra ba no kra no oh Man United are maybe Barcelona maybe traditional clubs now so mo a lot of fan base US market no oh man maybe yet he is reporting say they had over $2 billion in revenue. 2 billion before omoko competition no or the betu just say 1 billion we no all ba be the no match the ama clubs no. But after the competition or say omunya $2 billion from organizing the FIFA Club World Cup. So obviously US market no baby so you can see this Club World Cup numbers 2.1 billion in total revenue, 33 million revenue per game. Every game this is amount and then an average of 40,000 stadium attendance per game. So average no ebi wo hono ma na nheda ye enko ye sa ne ade, but se ukani nyina aboma averagely 40,000, which is not a joke. That is why I want to me $33 million. It US hosting the World Cup. Massive for the FIFA, because FIFA as an organization they want to maximize a lot of revenue. Send to me distributing normal sustaining the sports football. That is why omo de neko. Chono de why ni bibia ne ade a omo de trophy de ko Donald Trump ne ade a ye hu se countries are hosting tournament ne ade. We don't see the organizers no president no any host country ni president, we don't see that you don't see it. So as ye krokro ne ade they invited Donald Trump for the final and he came. Then FIFA Chelsea and me sure say they will also communicate the same thing to Paris Saint-Germain, because two teams are more final no say muja podium hona ye the trophy ni be there mimini Donald Trump the president of US ye the trophy ni be there bremo now ye the bremo we are ye be free ho na my day mo jubilate. That was the conversation. Now after the event in Bibiano, we've seen that Donald Trump is trending. And trending idea I'll come to that. But let me tell you one thing. It is obvious that yes, FIFA can do anything to make Donald Trump happy, to massage the ego, to ensure say competition be more US be an be successful. But I'm not sure. Say, I'm bet to me na transfer. I say, you drew a podium hona, kahona onis Chelsea for and jubilate. That is where Papa your friend Todd Bowley comes into the picture. Mufa Todd Bowley picture and fanto so mami Chelsea a owner no. Onu kwa picture osre That is where he comes into the picture. And I've done an extensive research about this. Say, po bi ono so waba be fa club bi a why na adwen say obe make sure say sa club no eni monyam eni ni tumi eni ni bibia be koso wo wiase bia na be koso kra so a US market no a very big marketer or person or yede or dominating e wo honom because he has seen say Man United influence no e kofem so or person or yede or dominating e papa we you see him on Bloomberg omo ebia omo showcase no akotena ho na or ka Chelsea asem e very very hardly so better or ka doggers na or no or what 30% stake e wo mu US na e hardly so better so ka ho asem okọ any forum bia and most of this forum no a US based outlets and a organize okọ bia na oka Chelsea asem okọ bia na oyeden oka Chelsea nyema ne ade a so me to na me say no ade Donald Trump here it was deliberate because the FIFA president wanted to take him out of the podium. It was directing so chairman yenko. The players indicated say onko jubilation. He told them point blank say I want to celebrate with you people. And it is not by chance. And one maybe say what is the relationship between Donald Trump and Papa your friend Todd Bowley? Because a significant part. Now, this is what I got. This is the information I got. The relationship between Todd Bowley and a papa friend Donald Trump. A so relationship, a professional one. And it is tied to specific event and shared interest in sports and politics. So, a professional. And yes, bia one na obia or ni childhood friend, and I say bia one na adele in gabi a professional, and the professional no profession ben na a papa a friend Todd Bowley wom a sports. Donald Trump sports background in terms of the involvement in sporting nyama ne ade a eno wo honom so a little bit of interest in sports. So realize ya FIFA say they had to even interview him and ask him say player ben any goat. Normally you don't hear president host event say the microphone no AB so to massage ni ego emoka say Pele because the ni den ehwe Pele ene ade ade ni nyina no omo ye den omo krokro ne kakra ne ade ati FIFA ho de no. Now Donald Trump, on it Todd Bowley, sports and politics. And one of me say, now Todd Bowley, there politics there. Say himself who was sports, now politics there. And no, and a sports aspect, no. Todd Bowley and his fellow Chelsea, investor. So Chelsea investors, no more dosu. Your friend could be Mark Walter. Almost share Donald Trump. Ewo White House, Los Angeles Dodgers, winning World Series in October 2024. They met Donald Trump. Donald Trump invited him. Only say October 2024. Now Donald Trump is president of America. Now he is not a president of America. Donald Trump invited them after winning World Series. Todd Bowley kono. And your Dodgers investors no ni omukoye. Oni Chelsea investor. Aye friend Mark Walter and on any coach here Donald Trump. So obviously, say omukwa de umbedi nkomo. And omubedi nkomo they will bring a Chelsea into it. Ombe communicate Chelsea way. And osaso any year they share what I say. Then the political bit no. Information I mean say papa your friend Todd Bowley or aligned with the Republican Party. And Republican Party no the most powerful and the most influential person in the Republican Party no papa your friend Donald Trump. Say House Representative and Senate. Now say Donald Trump campaign mawa the possibilities of be winning high. Na your friend papa be a friend of Patrick McHenry. Or seeking for re-election into the House of Representatives US. na papa a friend told Bolly actually financed this man, and he was a man Donald Trump openly campaigned for him. You were Republican House representatives, any Senate for Donald Trump, a campaign against them. The second over MPP, naka Nanado, president. And I said Nanado co election. No, it be or campaign it here. Kenya Japan. Say, Mamon Tuma Kenya Japan. This is how it is. Inti when Donald Trump nanka say call out. Emma campaign ma Patrick McHenry. Na sa Patrick McHenry no. Oni Todd Bolly to say. Todd Bolly actually financed him. So it is clear say alignment with Republican. So politically they shared interest. And this is Todd Bolly manner. He want to capitalize on everything. It will make Chelsea or Jason anymore. A lot of companies are bound. Ebimo the 40 million Abamu are rejected. Nanu yana ba could be from Denmark from Saudi buy. Omo buy no. Omo we ni just say mudi akamu 10 matches. Me sponsor mo for 10 matches no. After that me nye. O share the benefit of Denmark for nenya. Within that shortest possible time now, they would have loved to continue. But Papa ni said derby. Nani nyina mu no. O nim say Chelsea be call FIFA Club World Cup. So Chelsea call FIFA Club World Cup. A coin bias no matter what, on capitalizing on whatever Chelsea does to ensure the market value of the football club, no, the domination of the football club, US, no, obey. So Mobekaya, US, UK supporters of Chelsea, Ababonte, because I say, one ticket phobia company, be a question. I say, Omuye, we any idea.
US ticket company.
A company, yes. Again, that competition we are no. Or so ma tickets. Say omo supporters in the US omo ramehwe ema UK for no be kura so ye den edwala ni nyina a deliberate attempt ti nyame ya adoma Chelsea do final no na akwesa atodi ewiase nyina be Chelsea playing the final, whether Chelsea be win or Chelsea win you ewiase nyina be the final. And they started say, okay, now your team na a young team, we need to be strategic. Now what is the strategy? Cole Palmer, star boy. Let's project Cole Palmer. Into Besha. Oko New Yorker. Omo baby a ho Times Square. Times Square ne ho. And a marketing to say omo ye billboards. Omo what is electronic billboards are. If you want to market anything, you go there, you go and pay and go and market. Can you imagine? Say Chelsea deliberately marketed Cole Palmer. In the picture, and the one. They no more no, and almost as smart Cole Palmer na. Say Uncle Kofa on just scooter, so Uncle Kofa was in a bear. People will see the picture and see him. So people were filming him. Say, hey, Cole Palmer is there filming himself. It was a deliberate attempt to market their star boy to get a lot of love because. Play almost support here and yet team nko ade e was so munya figure bi on betuma head and supporting no and Chelsea realized Cole Palmer and e betuma head aye adwuma no and nyankopon a chese opposite to Bolly any so ni bibia bam realize say chale adenato then the final Cole Palmer stood tall, scored 2 goals and what assisted. He was basically the man of the match, man of the occasion. It's everything that Todd Bolly a dreaming of. Now, before a Chelsea be competition we, now $40 million and as a £40 million a year front a year sponsor back. I'm a Chelsea are rejected. Mino can say 6 to 7 a year companies aba. Say almost person mo ye domba. Ebimo bid as higher as what? £60 million. That is the vision and the plan of a year Todd Bolly. Now yen sha Donald Trump ade no ye no. Mo fa video ne nto so mame. Now there hwe ye pa. You realize say me don't care. Me, I don't care. Me, ya tell me say me nyadi be, and I'll do that. And it can be real extreme to overshare video now. Oh, omo de man we no hwe. Gianni Infantino say yankwai enu yi no. Then aye bisa no, Kopama jira ne chepe, Kopama say what are you doing? We bisa say go so that we celebrate. Then Sanchez, so, do you want to celebrate with us? Okachens, yeah, I want to celebrate with you. The players were confused. Now, apparently, Abrante a friend. Sanchez said, "Who the page now because why not just say obey only a best celebrity, and only almost celebrity. Anka Obibeka say if say Anka a glitch, I can say FIFA be then I be apologize. Say what happened? No, it wasn't what the American want to say. FIFA may apologize. Donald Trump nankasa so may then may apologize. I'm telling you, say after this adiwe. Say Obika Chem say told Bolishes hadi we chia. Enyemi wanwa. President, I want you to celebrate with my players. They are my players. It is my team. Celebrate with them. Let the video go viral. Let the world know, say, you celebrated. I just want the world to know. And the years to come, the pictures and everything, people will see, say, yeah, the president of the United States of America was part of Mitima Yajiwe. And it is simple communication about Makosa Donald Trump would do it. And indeed, he did it. Menoka say, there are, Oko America, there are almost many, almost market, obi work nima they friend football. And almost they are used to certain almost basketball and almost American football.
The football they know is not this one.
It's not this one. Yeah. The football they know.
Fairway soccer.
Exactly. They are still developing almost football. No? And a market space a muya den. People want to exploit it. And this was a perfect opportunity. A papa a friend told Boli. Inya or they day. Or they a capture. Can you imagine, say, CNN, all the portals say, who you are saying, nah, I carry this particular, this particular thing on my carry. Now they've gone ahead to interview Kopama, who is the star boy. He's getting the interview and telling us what happened or explaining what exactly happened. And as someone know the ekaye, and it is going everywhere, not only on ESPN. Now me know say New York Post, New York Times, this, that, everywhere in the world. Obi a say a football club will be from Chelsea Football Club. Edge Club World Cup. This is what Donald Trump did. And omo pay football near that. They see it to be an embarrassment. Meanwhile, the football way and Kopama, all of them, they were laughing about it. And they were happy. They are happy about Chelsea is happy. And I'm telling you, sir, the person who is the winner of all this, even if say Donald Trump say, I will do this. I want to celebrate with you. The ultimate winner of all this PR stunt, papa friend told Boli. He is going to what? Leverage on Sa Adewi. Now Chelsea, a rich, I go beyond football, lovers too. Because omo pay politics no, omo hwe CNN and the other, omo fa ESPN ho nya hwe. Now omo nyina they are going to check. They are going to check who is Chelsea. Omo football club ben no. Omo owners ne hwana, players ne hwana. Why. So from what the Gianni Infantino FIFA mo nkasa ye. Any how Chelsea deliberately projected Kopama, going to the extent of advertising him at Times Square. It has never happened before. Cristiano Ronaldo munyi na omakobo pre-season war US. It has never happened. Say you said that the footballer be a picture kwakobo say advertising, and Chelsea did that to ensure a certain to ensure say omo star boy no omo marketing. And I know say Kopama is is everywhere. Everybody is mentioning his name, and the performance so to me then amas a PR job we are so easy. You might think say oh ye bibi keke till now apology behind then enfi Donald Trump office in my till now apology behind FIFA and my idea be PR me say it was a calculated PR thing just to ensure that the ultimate winner becomes the owners of Chelsea and the Chelsea Football Club. Say obe making sure say obe increasing the tentacles a year United States of America. For this is the conspiracy my draw in the whole thing and now then a happy and move we can
I think the all can need na because apart from issues or raising him said before FIFA Club World Cup the chassis here during the competition billboard here that screen is and yes maybe FIFA ne ko 2 years ka so mon koye Chelsea for na de omom bottom secretary because say o pese o ma o team no enya that global view na untimi enim say obi bebo Barca din a ejina Messi so performance a Messi da ne di ye can Real Madrid those times and no moje to repeat na Ronaldo no dimu kind pan so unhia player and I'd be advertised be boama nyama koye na during the FIFA Club World Cup final na the game was being streamed through Donald Trump's Twitter handle.
Yes.
The man who said and yes maybe
it just deliberate
from the start almost chassis imagine some base streaming game through Donald Trump and even after the game the White House official page ebe posti Chelsea team ni Donald Trump picture ya ye display
you understand so
we
are simu na wherever
yes
ebe hu
nti omo imagine so ombe use that exposure no to make sure say that club Chelsea that player ko Palmer ebetimi do ene me no udi nkomo is a virus the betu ye chia EFC 26 and number omo trailer gameplay trailer ko Palmer and o ma fa no e de atoso a ene adverta e ba bontin ndra ko Palmer ene wo nti ene Todd Bowley ni any blue co for no my imagine say if they need to exhibit
the commercial aspect and you said
Chelsea,
the American owners
they need to use this player.
That is what they did with Man United.
Yes,
they exploited all the commercial aspect of the game and Man United by a global brand.
Yes.
Even when they were not winning up to till now no more winning trophies no.
Yes.
They are still dominating in the commercial aspect of the game. So look,
EFC trailer
it could have easily been Mbappe,
yes,
Vinicius,
even player or contract under Jude Bellingham. Into any match Chelsea fans be bisa say game ni beba no na ko Palmer na daso anaso benya chance aba bedaso. So this is one thing that Todd Bowley mu pushy.
Okay. And
minindra mpona Vincent di nkoma make a chance. Enye mo ase Ballon d'Or beba. Now from August to October, no Palmer put up a good performance.
He will be
on
top 3, top 4.
Yes, and that is one thing you need to do as a club. Apart from buying,
you need to
players,
deliberate.
You need to deliberate, advertise. Other companies are using advertisements as a stronghold to get customers. Another example outside football, I think recently there was this jacket company, Ubito jacket, a company say. Or the coffee jacket na for but almost a jacket no the face you meant for the company had to send somebody using a helicopter with an original jacket and fan who's any panel to a jacket ni fake to the person after the nippani share and the video went viral and people are now chasing the company. So apart from football owners need to business side and they are trying to make sure say Palmer will be the brand name or the brand image because obi ehun Palmer he relate Palmer to Chelsea. I Benjamin so team needs to be my code in any more say with editorial the mind into details any deliberating part they are using ways and means to get the team and also the player out there and so be who Chelsea JC you a be kai of Palmer picture who or Times Square I think Todd Bowley any blue co for no or more bomb and the team performance so Ama Bibiaba
yes. All the that's the hard work.
Yes. I think in the next 2-3 years, say World Cup 2026 Nimpo Baswa, England can use the exposure blue kofonama Palmer adanidi US no. Omunso e dia ton mo World Cup
Okay, all right.
Yeah, listo. Obekaya the first time Chelsea for that scary good phrase and then Palmer picture and buy. Mikael Bar Sports Arena before the final. Mikael say, I like how the Chelsea hierarchy Omoye sa projecting their star boy. And Mbeka say enya 9-4 it is Chelsea promoting their star boy. And they believe that whether it's Jude Bellingham, whether it's Ousmane Dembele, or whether it's Lamine Yamal, the talents and the numbers Kopama I won. If Chelsea was performing at the highest level, and continue and after that game, after this post I'm buying, and I was tempted to look into the background of Chelsea owners. So I'm very happy said no the topic grabber. And someone I have a background in marketing and communication. I was like, Abramovich era, we didn't see these things. No. We had Drogba name, and it isn't about even Todd Boyle Mobile. There's been a certain marketing strategy, even how Modito Mutime purely
look at the graphics,
yes,
and how they go about
and
everything.
You see, used to Todd Boyle, especially in the marketing background, near almost courses, some of the business or involved. He has background media and branding experience. So this is part of media and branding. They are branding their boy and putting it up there. Sports commercial strategy. Typical sports commercial strategy now with and digital innovation. Baghdad Egbali, not only a private equity and tech, that is a former tech and investment banker at Morgan Stanley. And also, he's also a strategic integration advocate in terms of monetization, IP truths, and then you go to Goldstein, who is a director and co-owner of Chelsea. He's not only a communication and legal specialist, so she's also advised in communications. Nema or Chelsea for any legal punishment via bro. Then again, Chris Townsend, Chelsea's commercial director, not only a marketing specialist. I was joining Chelsea team in since 2017, and then they were developing Chelsea commercial strategy. So with the owners, and Chris Townsend or Chelsea commercial, and I think that they are doing very well, projecting their star boy, their poster boy, their new number 10 shirted JC player, and again, a player who has been showing consistently say he is very good, despite the fact that the club is not even winning any competitive trophies. There's a reason why they rejected numerous offers. Before Chelsea, that man then was the money was good. It was a short time,
and they wanted to.
And even Chelsea going to the FIFA Club World Cup, there were companies available ready to push in £40 million, but they believe that no. Yambo, when you go into the season, right now we are going to play in the Champions League. Last season, there is a reason why Chelsea didn't have the bargaining power. Because they were not playing in the Champions League. Yeah. And the friends said, front share sponsors. People are proposing that they want to get this. We are giving Madrid 70 million. Or we are giving Man United 70 million. You are not playing the Champions League. So we cannot give you that money. Although you are big. But currently, the mileage we want, you cannot provide us. Yeah. So they had to wait for 1 year. I'm going to 40 million. And yes, they had to wait for 1 year. Now, they won the Conference League. They won the FIFA Club World Cup. And in the FIFA Club World Cup, coverage and said, they equal who or Katan. I improve it to the extent that this tournament, the revenue and the numbers are insane. And the Copa tournament to America, the largest economic space in the world. And even with the economic space in America and the United States, and they're the third largest country in terms of population. We India and China if you are. And when I was watching the closing ceremony, the trophy nima Chelsea, Anna Donald Trump was like, na papa we are there, unimbo. But then I met now with you guys as a person with marketing background, I was like, this thing is going to help Chelsea because the money mankind. In as much as the game was even streamed on platforms on over 100 million followers on X.
And aside that, Crown, on followers, no.
Yes.
A different market.
Yes.
Different market.
And on apart from no followers, no. The other tabloids, platforms, they don't even report on football.
Yeah.
But in terms of content-wise, and because they do things similar to Donald Trump, they will have a certain narrative to push in the Chelsea agenda for them. And someone was in a him for the show blue yeah. Donald Trump show said. You see, the day before, the day after the final, Yeba has said, I wanted to raise that point, but me in a fear. Yeba final we are there about studio Monday. Kopama or checking the idea. He had over 500,000 followers.
Followers increase.
Between that shortest time, no. Over 500,000 followers. And Ucheki surveyor, over 90% of that new followers are Americans.
Okay.
So the Chelsea project, BBR falling in place, and they have over 10 companies lined up ready to pay over 60 million, and some of them are also ready to pay 100 million also to the Chelsea team for that frontline sponsor. And then they also pushing their boy. Nyame aduma next season. Send the money man kind or no a game or 10 games into no. Money man say Nyame aduma next season. And I saw it on Twitter, on X. But my time already. Nyame aduma that cover page no. It got to a time the game be about wow money members and normally between Messi and Ronaldo. Wow beji Ballon d'Or. When they do a game that following season. And even Bellingham I didn't year no, because that year Bellingham was getting
social marketing.
Yes,
strategy.
the marketing strategy. And this is an English boy. And he work borrow into the American marketer. And he FIFA 2026. Kopama. He say Obi Abogama. One thing is Obi Abogama best for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Because I feel Kopama. Who didn't jump a beer? So at least they will say, "Oh, team for Chelsea," but because no Bogama, Obo free 10-10 one. Unless they be unless they be or the Kopama Kwakubo rings. And no new line as well. Or don't have so there's a deliberate attempt why and the Uko game center be Obi Abogama of Real Madrid because Mbappe, Jude Bellingham, we are free no more to the standard. And also a idea is also so I think that
I've seen videos na almost show Kopama celebration.
Yeah.
They are started babon thing. So ni nyina kan the marketing
and then they listo. Senke say Chelsea akwaje the FIFA Club World Cup and Kopama we visited New Roots, St. Kitts on the papa and grandpa. And people are reporting TNT even US based sports sites. Kopama are visiting New Roots.
But he
was
last season he played for Chelsea.
Yes.
Nobody didn't even
and they Jeremy the Kwaba Ghana. Who said TNT and now CBS for no.
So yeah.
Jeremy the Kwaba Ghana.
All right.
But I think Yembo thought Boli Mwabaso or my idea or my Juma pa, especially with the front shirt we know. As at now, Omama Obiati says 10 companies now lining up. Omama Obiati says if you can't sign 4 years, Omon farm out. And it goes with it because now no South FIFA champion badge na ebo Obia person no so din kwase. Intino now they will be able to cope money from these teams. 60 million na your asking price. Obetua more on beji. So
the report now Ebanche say now
it be more ready to give 60.
First 40 million. But now they've had 10 companies lined up
with 60
to pay 100 million. 60 there report
but
the report is that right now we are willing to accept 100 million. And you see the companies reports are and Telegraph say over 7 out of the 10 most of them are from the Middle East.
Okay, so Chelsea are in talks with 7 to 10 big global companies over a long-term front of shirt sponsorship, which could be worth 60 million a year. Which worth 60 million a year.
Clubs or Mujiska, that is Manchester City and Man U. You know, 60 plus, and I'm between 50 to 60. Man U, I think Snapdragon, and also a company.
Say last season buy new.
And Etihad for Man City.
That is
almost.
That's all no more.
Yeah, fair business.
And no more saying.
I think on Man City 60 million.
Okay, to Chelsea so
Chelsea to 60.
I think after this they will have to go into the redevelopment of the stadium.
Yes, and they come plans.
So that we in our lifetime we need to see Chelsea playing in a 60,000, 70,000 capacity.
Adibi skipping me. Virus in fact, Donald Trump ne FIFA president picture na no multi hall. I think no more or coach or the trophy coach. Sure, I think there's something people are not paying attention to. this FIFA Club World Cup Ekobo US now is a deliberate attempt to even test, but the normal is even to test how smooth the
World Cup.
No,
you see,
and you see, and that picture, there was the World Cup trophy. Another picture.
Yeah, Bakubi
There was the World Cup trophy. So why even playing FIFA Club World Cups? I did the World Cup trophy.
One thing then I can say, the man now say World Cup and Hong Kong.
Yeah.
But man no, the figure no. You need to massage his
World Cup the bad day jinane so.
A bad day jinane so enye da. We so na me ko panda Roma. Ko fo ko papa.
Yes, because pressure
Club World Cup.
On their mom, your ball Afcon ni wie
Club, yeah, Club World Cup no. Club World Cup no. Amanfo ko papa.
Yeah.
Wow, pese wo ko Club World Cup ni bia no. You journalist form apply omunya nyina. I just anyone ko interview. Unya ko na ka se wonya accreditation kwa omo visa. Almost all of them. Menti obi o say unya accreditation a oko interview omo deny no. And supporters no were allowed to also go. South African supporters American money South Africa also more tension kakra. But because of say FIFA winning no. Now Infantino make sure say obe krokro na mo na football fans for ne dey. Omo me different. Omo support you team. Omo ba no mako. Brazil for ne be buy. Almost all the countries nuclear said Donald Trump money omo issues in the crowd. When their teams came, you could clearly see say a full support base and they support them. So I think that is basically nyama omo dey there. Omo dey be with you there. Yemre no aye brain no nyame adoma be ye nti no be ba be din koma aka na afi bibia so atuma koye we say bi so onimu pa Ben I miss you Tudora kwesi bosompem o say ohia number I do college days and I we say Azema no say watching you live from Azema Ventures Chronom opposite market. I urge the recruitment team of House of Folk to recruit quality players to win the season's league because we are tired of trophyless. Regardless to my lovely daughter, give glory, Bano. Yeah, that's a pan say, or they will comment here then. My book, Menya a year out of 6 BYC. Dynamo Misk and Ludogorets away win or draw. Or call Copa Libertadores in my Club Bolívar, Ebo Homone, Palestino, and Ebo Club Bolívar home win. And a Brazil League in man. Palmeiras, Ebo Homone, Mirasol, Palmeiras home win. They will play without a Brantia Festival. Fredrikstad FK Bodo Glimt win either half. And Inter Miami and Cincinnati Inter Miami over 2.5 game over 2.5 and New York Red Bulls and New England Revolutions over 1.5 and oko a year Ecuador team be wife no Odos Italiano oni Curico a year Unido enable Odos Italiano for no more than papa win either half and so on. Nti moto mo famo de enye we na yen sorry so ana woni bi o
yes
woni bi o okay nyame adom na adom de me o chene be share na afi de akache